on the Skype.
Hey mate, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, dude? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How's my mic quality and stuff? Is it okay or
You sound like a very sexy Aussie.
excellent?
I'm sure all the girls
Yeah,
will go wild because we get so many of them on my stream.
yeah, I bet.
All right, man. So the uh, the old question I always like to start off with is, what do you want to talk about today?
I kind of want because I've got this mate that I played CS like 1.6 and all
Hmm.
this stuff with. He's quite good at this. He's like a 2,300 diamond Protoss.
So he's a
I want
noob.
to learn like he's much better than me. Like I've beaten him twice, and I want to like just surprise him one time and just crush him, you know. So I want to just get good at that matchup as well as I can get.
Okay, well,
It's really
ZvP
fun.
is something I can help you with. I've actually got my buddy JMag online who said he'll play with us. He's grabbing something to eat though,
Okay, cool.
so I'm gonna find out how long he's gonna be, and we can just start talking about it.
Okay.
So, how does your buddy play, and what is his style?
He goes quick expand with lots of sentries.
So, like a 3-gate expand.
Yeah. 3 expand, each of sentries, and just use some force fields to keep him alive early enough to beat me.
All right. And what is your usual response to that?
I usually go like a pretty like I mass on 2 base with roaches,
Hmm.
just attack, and I think my timing's off because he just manages to get mortals out right at the right time. And
Okay.
yeah, he just
So we're trying to play. You're just sticking on 2 base. You're not necessarily expanding to your third, and you're just doing like a roach all-in of sorts.
sort of with a couple of zerglings. I try to bait out as much energy as I can out of the sentries and hit off as much as I can. But yeah,
Okay.
it's quite good with him.
Well, it sounds like you've got a pretty good starting point for us to build on. The 3-gate expand is a very common, popular, solid Protoss style. And the great thing about it is it's extremely safe to just about anything Zerg can do. Like, I can't think of any one build that Zerg can use to exploit it.
Yeah.
But it also allows tons of good transitions. He could go 3-gate expand Void Ray, 3-gate expand Robo, 3-gate expand fuck, I don't know, Mothership. Or yeah, sometimes
Fair enough.
sometimes we'll see 3-gate Expo into Blink Stalkers. Most commonly, you see 3-gate Expos into Robotech, like 5-gate Robo with Observers and Immortals and eventually Colossus.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
what I've seen him do, he actually he sits on his 2 base, and if I attack him early, he kind of holds it off as well as he can,
hmm
and then he just sits on 2 base until he gets 200 and attacks. And
Yeah,
I'm pretty screwed by then.
Turtle Toss. That can be really obnoxious to play against. Okay, well, let me ask you this: when you do your roach build, you go 2 base roaches. So are you getting burrow and roach speed or what?
Yeah, the timing's a bit off. Like I think I've seen it on your stream, get everything sort of kicks in at the right time for
Right.
the attack, but sometimes like I'm a bit off. I don't have the speed or I don't have whatever.
All right. Well, that's something that we can fix easily. The great thing about burrow and roach speed is that they almost take the exact same amount of time to finish. So if you start them at the same time, they'll finish at the same time. Um, all right. So if I were to ask you what your build order is, would you be able to recite a build order to me, or would you have to just say, "Oh, well, I get my pool around this time and my hatchery around this
Well,
time"? And
I try to do the fast expand because well, if I get it off, he usually goes the response, which is a 2-gate or a forge with a gate, and then cannon rushes me or some
yep.
random stuff. If I don't get it off, if he gets down a pylon or something, I instantly put down my spawning pool at like 15.
Hmm.
If that fast expand fails at 14,
Okay.
and then get the gas at the same time if that happens.
Cool. All right. Well,
But I really like to get that 14 hatch down as soon as possible.
let me ask: if you go 14 hatch and he does the forge cannon thing, how often are you able to defend that?
Um, Usually not very well, especially when he double pylons the bottom of the ramp.
Yep.
And I'm dead.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna come right. I'm gonna make a bold statement and say that going 14 hatch against Protoss, especially against good Protoss, is pretty much suicide in today's game, because they can do the Forge Gateway Cannon plus Zealot thing, and against like equally skilled opponents, if it's executed properly, the Zerg just can't defend it. There's just no way. Against, if the Protoss makes a couple mistakes, it can be defended. So but in general, I'm gonna try to persuade you to move away from going hatch first. I know how good hatch first can be. I love to go hatch first myself, but I don't think that in today's... I beg your pardon?
Is it just too hard to execute, you reckon? Or?
No, I don't think it's a matter of being too hard to execute, because even the pros are getting away from doing it in ZvP. I just think it's just unsafe.
Okay.
So we have a couple different options, however. Instead of hatchery first, we can go 14 pool, 16 hatch, which is almost as fast of a hatchery. And getting bugged on Skype, so I'm going to turn this to away, or do not disturb. There we go.
Fair enough.
Apologies for that. Okay, anyways, so we can go 14 pool, 16 hatch, which is almost the same timing on the hatchery, and it's very, very macro-centric. We're going to get a lot of drones with that style. Our Zergling speed is going to be a little bit later, so we will be a bit vulnerable to some Protoss pushes, like if he just sends his first 2 stalkers across the map at us.
Yeah.
But in general, very, very solid. Now, go ahead.
I just have a quick question. Is the 14 pool 16 hatch? I remember seeing that build, and it's when you transfer your queen, you put down a spine crawler, and then move that spine crawler across when the hatch pops up or something. Is that right?
Yeah. The only time you're going to really need to make the spine in your main is if the hatchery gets blocked and delayed. Otherwise, you should be able to start it on the low ground and still be fine.
Okay.
But that's option 1. Option 2 is a speedling expand, which is something that you probably it was very popular back in the beta days and at the early phases of release, where we go like some variations are 14 gas, 14 pool. I like to go. What was I going to say? I like to go 15 pool, 15 gas, 15 overlord, Zergling speed into expand is the way I prefer to do it. And now the benefit there is we get obviously an early Zergling speed, which gives us lots of map control, and which basically that allows us to put a lot of pressure on the Toss. If he tries to push out with those first 2 stalkers, we're just going to crush him, and we're going to be right back in his face. The other great thing about opening speedlings is if he doesn't get any zealots with those early sentries, it's normal to get 1 or 2 zealots. If he skimps out and he only gets 1, or if he just doesn't get any, you can use your You can use your lings and you can crush the sentries, and then he's got no sentries in the mid game. Because I'll tell you, it's normal for Protoss to make 6, 7, 8, maybe as many as 10 sentries with their first 1,000 gas, and then not make any more for the rest of the game. Protoss does not want to be making sentries in the mid game.
Yeah, because that takes away gas for Colossus and stuff.
Right, exactly. So those are the 2 options, and so that's what I'm kind of putting out there. Which would you prefer to start with? We have lots of time, so we can certainly talk about both before we're done.
I kind of the sort of speedling build sounds good actually.
Okay.
I reckon that would work the best.
All right, so I have a toss lined up for us.
Okay.
But he said he's gonna get his food.
Do you want to go through the build order?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest. We're gonna jump in with a computer and just go through. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, and if I talk over you, I'm sorry. It's just latency from Australia would be bad.
No worries at all. I'm not. You won't hurt my feelings. So I'm just gonna make a game on Metalopolis is fine. And we're just going to go through this against a... Oops, I just opened it to the public. Alright, quit that game. Fail. Let's try it again. And now I'll make myself a referee plus AI, medium AI Protoss. Cool. Perfect. Alright, let's get this going. There's the guy you're going to be playing against. And he is one of my practice partners, and he's quite good. I promise you, he's better than 2300. I don't know what his points are, but he's quite good. And you see he's pulling for the computer because the computer's Protoss. Alright, so again, our build is 15 pool, 15 gas, 15 overlord, expand around 21. And if you execute it perfectly, you're going to be starting your speed and your expansion at almost the exact same time. As soon as you have 100 gas, it's important that you get drones off of gas and on minerals, because you really need to maximize your early game mineral intake. Alright. Rally points are being set. Overlord is moving. Drones are mining. Everything looks good.
Thanks. So 15 pool, yeah?
Yes, yes. And the reason we get that late pool is so we can get as many drones out as possible. We want to establish our early game economy as much as we can, while still allowing for us to have the speedlings out on the map.
Are there any tricks to rally the drones or anything?
Well, you know, a lot of times throughout the course of the game, I'll rally drones individually until my APM is demanded elsewhere, and then I just set the rally point to the middle and let the AI sort it out. In general, the AI is excellent at being efficient when it comes to mining, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, looking good so far. 15 overlord. And then we're just going to go back to droning like normal. And our expansion is going to be around 21. It doesn't have to be exactly 21, but around it. Get those drones in gas ASAP.
And do I save lava or anything for slings? Or?
That's kind of a judgment call. I'll normally just drone and then make like one set of lings initially. Like right now, I'll make one set. Sometimes I'll make two, one to control the towers and another to kind of poke around with. It just kind of depends on the positions you're left with. Now you're going to get your queen started good. Alright, so just go ahead and send a drone down to that expo. You'll start a 21st drone, and you see how this timing is lining up. You're going to start your hatch, and then you're going to have exactly 100 gas. You're going to start speed and pull drones off of gas. Alright, your drone is kind of going crazy in the natural. Where is he going? Oh, you're scouting.
I thought it was a scout.
Okay. No problem. That's fine. Right, so get that speed started. Get your guys off gas. You really need to control the Zelnaga towers. It's the most important thing in the world right now. Control the Zelnaga towers and just poke around with your other two lings. Get your rally point set on your natural hatchery. Get it hotkeyed somewhere. And we're just... you can start your second queen as well in your main. And you want to start an overlord on 23.
Okay, when do I send that?
Alright, no, not now. After this next larva pops, you're going to place a creep tumor. No, don't even do that. Inject.